said, are you happy? Hi-yo.
Hello, Daddy-O.
Boy.
We have friends. We have friends here. They're speaking.
They pop in the chat the moment the show starts. That is
I wonder if that's actually a
awesome.
feature of Twitch that we don't know about.
Maybe so.
That you can only see each other's comments when it started or like starting to start. That doesn't make any sense. I have a mic stand today, so I feel official. Lane Ingram,
Ooh,
therapist in Austin, Texas.
That sounds great. You leaning into that mic stand.
Thank you. Wowie.
And
wowie zowie.
you sibilance. You are you introed me. You are Katie Stone, a comedian and a fighter of the stigmatization of mental health, and you are out as someone who has been diagnosed bipolar 2, isn't that right? Katie Stone, comedian and advertising copywriter.
Out. I did. I came out as bipolar 2 by being crazy online for years and then finally stopping.
Well, I felt weird
Just kidding.
if I were to say, if someone was listening for the first time and I introing you were like, and Katie Stone, who has bipolar 2. Ha ha.
No, we joked about it when we first started introducing each other on the show. I was like, Lane never knows whether to say. Lane never knows whether to out me. And now you do, and that's good. I continue to, if you're in the chat, be adjusting to my bangs and adjusting them constantly while we're on video. I have bangs. For audio listeners, Lane and I are both very beautiful. We're actually two of the most attractive people you've seen in your life, I would say. So if you're an audio listener, thank you so much. Never look up pictures of us, but just imagine two most beautiful people you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I have been told by people people who are used to hearing my voice but have never seen me, and then they see me. I have heard that it is very disappointing. My voice sounds like the voice of a handsome person, I think, if I'm being kind to myself. Speaking of, did I tell you yet another doctor told me I need to lose weight?
What was it this time? Your fucking it was my toe doctor?
Last time it was my allergy doctor. This week it was my urologist. Yes, I'm a man. I'm 40. I have a urologist. Get over it.
I thought you were saying, I have a urethra.
Yeah. I have a urethra. I mean, no, I want to show off this awesome apron that Katie got me, and I'll describe it for the audio medium. Whoa. This apron is amazing. One, it's a high quality apron. It is a white, very soft, comfortable apron. But we've got some, Miami Vice inspired fonts and colors.
Vaporwave is the name of the graphic design style.
Vaporwave, there we go. Vaporwave, it says Katie Stone. And then it in giant, I keep thinking it looks like the Sega Genesis kind of logo. It says
probably
approves in like big bold letters, and then it says what I am doing right now.
And it has a picture of me giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, and then the photo, it is so photo real. Like, that is such a great, I've seen photos on shirts and things before, but this is like quality craftsmanship here. Look at the quality.
Oh my God, my head is entirely the size of Lane's head. It is a realistic depiction. I mean, obviously that is a face or a photo taken with a photo filter on it. And a lot of makeup, because I wanted, if I was gracing Lane's chest while he was making ribs, which was my mindset, I was like, Lane and Chloe love to cook for other people, and I don't get to go to the cookouts anymore, so I want to be a part of it.
I love it. This is such a nice, now this is it was one of two amazing Christmas gifts that you got us. And the first, I can't remember, did we ever even mention that when we came back from the break?
I don't know if we did, because you posted a lot about it on social, which I appreciated. Yeah. But I got Lane 2 gifts. One was the apron and one was a blanket.
Yeah, the blanket is great. It says it's got kind of an artist rendition of Chloe and I that is just adorable. And it says the Ingrams are horny. And that image is just like plastered like a zillion times, like what would you call it? Like a patchwork? A checkboard, yeah. And it's just
from
fantastic.
The show I directed. So it's the three of us hanging out is the subtext, except you guys are horny and I'm just there.
You're there directing things is what you're doing.
Well, yeah, because you moved into a new house. Chloe had a birthday and it was Christmas within a month of each other. So I wanted to go all out. I wanted to ball out.
You really did. And that the blanket was, again, quality craftsmanship. So
can I just say, it's weird because I have like financial stability for the first time kind of ever. Oh, by the way, Lane and I both have like the weird Biden concert on in the background on our headphones.
Yeah.
If anybody else wants to do that.
Today's the best day in the last 4 years. But anyway,
we can get there pretty quick. Wait, what was it? I'll wrap up the thought that I had.
You're fine.
And we can move on. I don't even remember what it was.
I just think we're happy. Life might suck again tomorrow. You never know. But at this exact moment, things feel hopeful and good in a way that we haven't felt in a long time.
We're thinking we might not release this as a podcast, but if you are hearing it as a podcast, it would come out this Friday. So I guess it would still be topical. But if you're hearing this as a podcast later down the road, Joe Biden was just inaugurated. We have on, what is the name of this it's called like, it's not America First because that's nationalist. It's like America Good Job or something.
According to CNN, the name of this program is Celebrating America. And it is the concert for, normally on the night of the inauguration, there would be a whole gala and a concert and just a big to-do. They can't exactly do that because of quarantine, but they have like some actual live music and some pre-recorded music. So right now, I think I'm watching live right now. The Foo Fighters are on. We saw Bruce Springsteen. We got to talk about Lady Gaga doing the national anthem today. It was awesome.
To be 100% honest, I didn't sleep well last night, so I woke up at 9 a.m. thinking inauguration started because here, that's noon Eastern. So I thought the inauguration started at noon. So I woke up, I ambled out. I got there in time to see Joe Biden inaugurated, but I missed Kamala Harris, which was upsetting. I did watch the replay but I was like, I wanted to see it. It is important to me as a girl.
Did you watch Trump leaving this morning? I guess not, because that was even earlier. I watched a
video. Oh, no, I did. I only watched a video of him landing in Florida. And to be honest, Melania's dress was flawless. I hope she divorces him. She is garbage. But I want him to suffer and her clothes sometime every once in a while. They're not Michelle Obama good, which if you're listening to this in the future and you want to remember what Michelle Obama looked like at Joe Biden's inauguration, go up, look up a fucking picture.
I don't think I saw like
that. Did you see it?
I don't think I saw that. I caught bits and pieces of the inauguration because I was in and out of sessions, but
right.
Well,
her outfit is a monochrome maroon, like a wide leg pant, huge cinched belt, maroon turtleneck, and then beautiful coat, with some like high heel black boots underneath.
Yes, very nice.
It's so good.
Yeah, you know where I think I messed up? By the clips that I was watching, they were already kind of seated and in those pews, and I couldn't see like a full body shot. All I could see was like their masked faces. But no, she does look incredible. That's a great outfit.
And her hair. I mean,
did you see Lady Gaga though? Sorry to keep bringing it back to Lady Gaga.
So I woke up late and I missed Lady Gaga and Jennifer Lopez. So I just saw these tweets about it. I know she wore a Mockingjay style outfit because of all the Hunger Games jokes, but that's all I know.
I didn't even
light
get
on
that.
Fire? Did it light on fire?
Did what? No. Well, one, I've never seen a Hunger Games, so
it's free on IMDb TV.
Well, I'll put it this way. Chloe and I once watched the first 10 minutes of the first Hunger Game, and we were like, this is terrible. And we turned it off and never looked back. So we suck as humans. I didn't get that reference.
Oh, she's straight up. Okay, never mind. I get it now. I just looked up a single photo. So Sanjay and I watched all of the Hunger Games movies for free on IMDb TV, which is where we watched Third Rock from the Sun during. Everybody's watched everything during quarantine. I started trying to make a list on my phone, and I every day remember something that's not on the list. But
awesome. Are you using Letterboxd?
All of it.
Letterboxd is the app. Letterboxd.
That's where you record what you're watching.
Yeah, and well, there's all sorts of stuff you can do on there. It is like the app to connect with friends and talk movies, or like see what your friends are watching. You can like write reviews. I use it mostly just to keep track of what do I want to see and what have I seen. And then it kind of gamifies your watching habits where you actually feel productive when you watch new movies and shows. It's fun. I sound like the most boring person. Anyway,
it's okay, Lane. We all know.
Yeah, sound like. Let's see.
I do think Jennifer Lawrence is a bad actress. I'm just trying to stir social media so people will talk about us, but I do.
Was it? Oh, I know we've all heard the national anthem a zillion times, but Lady Gaga crushed it. Like, it was so good. It was it was really good. And she seemed just so happy. It just for a moment seemed like good things. J-Lo was great, but Garth Brooks.
What did J-Lo sing? Sorry.
J-Lo came out and sang America the Beautiful, which I like the Star Spangled Banner. I've always thought America the Beautiful kind of a lame song. The line, every time I hear the line, the ocean white with foam, I'm just like, that's a bad lyric.
I didn't even know that was in the song. I've only ever heard the first verse.
It just seems like you're just scrounging for rhyming words now. It just get rid of it.
Also, just don't say white. Like, we have had a bad experience for the past 4 years. Cut the word white from any song about America.
Yeah, come to the Texas Gulf Coast. You're not seeing any white foam on that ocean. That's just the ocean, brown with fecal matter. Anyway, where was I? See, I'm all derailed. All I can think about is the Hunger Games.
You were talking about Jennifer Lopez. Oh, Garth Brooks. You were about to talk about how much you love Garth Brooks.
Well, I've never been a country music fan. His rendition of Amazing Grace was fine, but it was when he was leaving. Did you see?
When he hugged everyone?
It was adorable. Everyone wanted to hug him.
Really cute. But also I was like, you guys must have been, how many times have you been tested? They must have all been tested a ton of times, right? Because I was like, he's trying to kill Hill right now. Kill Hill, the Tarantino movie about Hillary Clinton dying of COVID-19.
But he was just about to run away, and then W stood up and made a move like, you're not leaving without hugging me. So he hugged the Clintons, the Obamas, W. I think Laura might have gotten screwed on that. I don't think Laura got a hug. But I think like everyone got, and then when he ran away, you could tell he had like, he was worried that he had eaten up too much time with his hugs. So he scurried out. Did you see him run up the stairs like all?
It was Chris one Farley? Of the most there were several like just full like minutes of silence. I thought it was incredible. I was so thrilled that they held it in a place where Howard University could be involved, since Kamala Harris is our first Black vice president and she went there. Yes, involve an HBCU in this specific inauguration, absolutely. But when they were waiting for the Howard bells they were like, and now the bells from Howard University, and like a full minute of silence where you watched just Joe Biden and Kamala Harris like sit quietly.
Was that what was happening?
Full of energy.
I think I didn't hear the intro, and I thought it was a technical glitch. I thought no one knew what to do.
No, just some guy was figuring out how to ding the bells, or the communications failed and he figured out to ding the bells like a minute late.
I'm sorry, I think I swallowed one of my own head hairs. Hang on.
Earbuds.
You ever get that feeling where you have a hair in your mouth and you don't know how to... I hate this.
Isn't Amazing Grace kind of a religious song to sing it? I was surprised. I guess I never watch inaugurations because why? I mean, I'm sure I watched the 2008 one, but I never watch inaugurations because why would I? They're so religious. I appreciated they had a black minister because I feel like that is an essential part of American spirit or whatever. But I was like, this guy's so gaudy. Like God-Y. He dressed normally.
I got you.
He was not in the full drip like Michelle was.
This was today? I don't think I saw this.
I don't know. We all saw different parts. It was a long thing.
It was over an hour, and I only I went to YouTube and entered Lady Gaga, then J-Lo, then Garth Brooks, then Biden's speech. And that I think was about all I was able to watch today before hopping on this call and watching some of the Lin-Manuel Miranda is on right now. He's talking. He's not singing. What is he doing? Sing, Lin-Manuel.
Do you think he's gonna rap? I won't lie. I don't like it when he raps. Also, he was in the His Dark Materials TV show. He is currently. They're still doing it. Are you familiar?
I have heard of it.
They were my favorite books as a child, and they made them into a TV show. And the TV show keeps very closely to the books. I do actually like it. But Lin-Manuel Miranda plays my favorite character from the books. I appreciate so much that they found Lane is still trying to swallow his own hair right now, and it is so funny.
I'm trying to get it out. I hate it. I hate this feeling. I'm so sorry.
But regardless, Lin-Manuel Miranda played my favorite character, and I liked because his character is called the Texan, is the name of the character.
Huh, okay.
And I liked that they chose that. Like, it's a very white book, and they chose it as an opportunity to like pick him and Cristela Alonso are like the Texan. But he's a fucking stage actor. He spends the whole time like, if I could find Lyra, I would be so delighted.
Can I tell you, I put on One Night in Miami a couple nights ago. Are you familiar? It's this new movie. It's like this new Oscar bait kind of movie. It's I hate to be this much of a reductionist, but it's basically, have you heard of $1 Million Quartet?
I don't know it.
Okay. Well, I was going to say it's like that, but $1 Million
Quartet?
Were
they the soundtrack to Bridgerton?
It was a Broadway musical about a fictional meeting between Johnny Cash, Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, and like Carl Perkins. They supposedly all met one night in Memphis, but they turned it into like a hit Broadway musical. Well, apparently there was one night in the 1960s in Miami where Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke all met after a Muhammad Ali fight and hung out together. But someone turned it into a hit Broadway play, but it was highly fictionalized, and they just turned it into a movie that just came out, and people are saying it's going to be nominated for a bunch of Oscars. And we watched about 15 minutes of it, and Chloe walked out. It has a very theatrical feel to it, a very this clearly would have been a good like a one-act play. It's like most of the movie is just the four of them in a motel room talking, but it's just very corny, just corny and projecty is all get out. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. I will admit, Sanjay and I started Hamilton on Netflix. I don't think it's the right medium. That's fine. I get it. But we did not finish it. I was so fucking bored.
Lin-Manuel Miranda played a bellboy in an episode of The Sopranos, and it is his first IMDb credit.
I love it. I love it for you, most of all.
Yes. Boy, he is still talking. Biden is still. How is the sun just now setting in Washington, D.C.?
No idea. I also don't know.
9:30 there.
Do you think this was pre-recorded? Because he's old as shit.
It had to have been.
Someone tweeted, "I look forward to having a president who sleeps." So true.
Yeah. No, I was watching a little bit of the CNN.
Oh, I think this is from last night. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Because they had the memorial they had a memorial for the lost last night.
Okay. No, sorry, I went off on a whole tangent about one night in Miami. Anyway, where were we? How are you feeling today? Do you feel hopeful? Is that?
Oh my God. Today, to be honest, okay, multiple thoughts happen at once. Yes. Whenever you ask what, because I store thoughts throughout the day. I say, what am I going to say to Lane tonight? First of all, okay, so like 2 days ago, I decided I was too addicted to TikTok. If you guys haven't done TikTok, once you figure out how to do it, it's maybe the most addictive app on the internet. It's incredible. I've learned so many things and I love it, but I got too addicted and I had to quit. And then I realized if I take Adderall, I can't be on social media at all because I become very addicted to the dopamine surge that comes with notifications. So I deleted TikTok. I can't use TikTok for 3 weeks, I've decided, because I have to cleanse. And then I blocked Facebook and I blocked Twitter. And then also today, the news stop. Like, in theory, there's news, but the news is all stuff we knew was going to happen. It's like Joe Biden is the president. Kamala Harris is the vice president. Joe Biden redecorated the Oval Office. And I'm just like, there is a void in my brain. It's huge. I've been journaling. I decided to journal all of my impulses because my impulses. Also, we can't know. This is so bizarre. The void in my head of not knowing what Donald Trump is thinking at all times. Right. I didn't realize that I'd become addicted to it.
This is going to be hard. The next 4 years might be excruciating for you if they're calm and smooth in any way, shape, or form. What are you going to do?
I guess write jokes about life or like do my job. I don't know. But Twitter, I logged back in at 5. I allowed myself to log back in at 5. And I was like, this is a boring website. Nobody knows what to talk about. Also, imagine, okay, it is validating to see Donald Trump hate things you love. Imagine how mean he would have been about Lady Gaga. He would have said such mean things about Lady Gaga. Oh my God, or the poet laureate. What's her name? Amanda Gorman.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw.
He would have been so mean.
I saw some of that. She was incredible.
And that's how you know he would have lost it. And he'd be so mad. He'd be like, Garth Brooks is a traitor to America. He would just hate everything. And I would love it that much for it. But I have to learn how to exist without him. No, He's been taking up like 30% of all of our brains for 4 years. And that 30% is free now. And we have to be smarter.
I just think it's so incredible. Think of all the conservatives right now who are like, but Garth, I thought Garth was one of us. What? Like they're just scratching their heads like not the world, like up is down, left is right. The Proud Boys. Tell me about what did the Proud Boys released a statement today? Speaking of like up is down. Yes. Yeah. What happened?
I would like to share people who have followed my career, disgusting thing to say. No, I'm obsessed with right-wing movements. So as my workday drew to a close, I started researching what they had done today. And there was incredible news. First of all, the Proud Boys have denounced their leadership has denounced Donald Trump. I don't think they called him a cuck, but they did call him a loser, I think was the phrasing. I wish they called him a cuck because that's kind of like their thing. And he is. He is. But they just call a total failure is what they called him. And then they said they welcome President Biden to office because at least the incoming administration is honest about their intentions. Apparently, they fully believed Donald Trump would pardon any Proud Boys in prison, especially for the insurrection. And instead, he denounced them and didn't pardon a single one. So they realized he'd been lying the whole time and didn't care about them, which in a way I relate to because I too have dated a sociopath. And then that article I read first. And then it led me into what does QAnon think? And QAnon, obviously, we all know is like it is a big umbrella. There's a lot under QAnon. All they really believe in, I think they all agree on the deep state and the idea that there's a national reckoning coming. So they all believed, they literally believed there was like a prophecy, like fucking Buffy or some shit, like Harry Potter, like Professor Trelawney saw a prophecy that Donald Trump would save America, and they really didn't believe he would leave office. So today was like a huge deal for them because nobody succeeded in overthrowing Joe Biden. So there's several things happening. One of them is that people decided Donald Trump would never abandon them. So he must have passed the torch to Joe Biden. So there is a portion of QAnon that believes that Joe Biden is now their savior. So Joe Biden just inherited a percentage of a white nationalist cult. I would like to read, there are several people who are suspects of being Q because they are so active on QAnon message boards and have so much clout and are so connected to Winnie posts. One of them said this today. I would like to read the quote. "We have a new president sworn in, and it is our responsibility as citizens to respect the Constitution. As we enter the next administration, please remember all of the friends and happy memories we have made together over the past few years." That is so funny to me. That is so.
Yeah.
You were in QAnon to make friends in memory? You joined a civil war death cult?
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. How touching. That is banana.
Oh, people are talking about how John Legend is singing right now, and that boy, he's got pipes. He's got pipes. You got to give it to him.
Johnny Legend.
I feel like this is running over because there's a bar. Anyway,
this is great. I just think it's incredible. This is like all the celebrities. This is an all-star event.
It's like, really good.
We went from 4 years of no musician wanting their music in any way associated with Trump.
Whoa, 3 doors down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chloe points out 3 doors down is the exception.
3 doors down played.
And and the Mike Love Beach Boys playing at Mar-a-Lago. Fuck apparently, Mike Love.
I just learned that for people my age who are female, Brian Luttrell of the Backstreet Boys is a hardcore Trumper. Not the other 4 Backstreet Boys, not Trumpers. Okay, Nick Carter somehow redeemed himself there. I'm sorry, Lane.
No, you're fine. I don't even know where I was going. But it's cool to see, like, I feel like there are even more like celebrities and musicians definitely turned out for both of the Obama inaugurations, but I feel like this is like, it's even more so, it seems like, unless I'm forgetting something. Because Bruce Springsteen, Garth Brooks, I'm just like, Garth Brooks turning up for a Democrat inauguration, like that just seems
Garth Brooks has performed at like every inauguration but Trump's for like 3 decades.
Has he really?
Like the Easter egg of inaugurations. And I was learning about it. He's apparently like kind of all across the political spectrum because he loved George W. He was thrilled to perform at that inauguration, but he also performed at Clinton's inauguration, obviously, because he hugged all of them. And he also wrote like a protest song after the Rodney King riots that was like in support. And I was like, who is this? I don't know anything about Garth Brooks. I know nothing. That said, I did say, why does Garth Brooks get to symbolize America? Why have I not seen Paul Simon at any presidential? I'm sure he's played at several presidential inaugurations.
So I think he's just old. Me, I think Paul Simon is really old at this point.
So, but he's not. How old is he? Older than Joe Biden?
Joe Biden keeps it tight. Paul Simon.
Oh, he's 1 year older than Joe Biden. You're right. You're right. He's old as shit.
But I think Biden keeps it tight though. He stays in good shape. Yeah, the last time I saw Paul Simon, he was not looking great. I
saw him in concert. Oh, I guess it was 8 years ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
At the Cedar Park Arena with a bunch of olds.
Nice. I do love it at Paul Simon though. No, because here we got who are we leaving out? Bruce Springsteen, who already performed. Oh, Justin Timberlake just performed at Stax,
the Black Pumas, who
where I've been to in Memphis, Tennessee. Sorry, but the Black Pumas.
Lane has been to Memphis, and he wants everyone. How was the barbecue, Lane?
Great barbecue in Memphis. They have something. It's really crazy there. It's they have in Memphis. They have I think they're called people of color. It's there's this thing they're called like diversity.
It's wild.
There are like POC owned restaurants, barbecue joints. It's phenomenal. Highly recommend.
When you live in Austin for too long, and I'd love to hear from the actual, like the Black women in the chat, especially about how this feels. When you live in Austin too long, I would travel home to Atlanta and go for brunch. And there would be like non-white people at brunch. And I would realize that I was like, oh, I never see this in Austin. And then it made me feel so incredibly fucking privileged that I didn't notice when I lived in Austin. But then I would go home and be like, oh, we're the problem. You ever adjust your zoom so that when you look at yourself, it looks like you're looking into the camera?
Yes, I do. That's a trick of mine in my therapy sessions.
Despacito is going.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh, I've got the sound off. Here we go. We've got Despacito. This is awesome. Biden really trying to bring us back together as a country. I love that he is enough of a people pleaser at this point that he's just like, fuck it. Let's just give the people what they want to see. Come on. I love it. One love.
This guy is people are really crushing it. People are crushing it.
Yeah, this Bon Jovi, I think, is about to. Oh, Demi Lovato was one of the artists I was trying to remember for tonight.
Speaking of our mission of fusing creativity and mental health, Demi Lovato, real advocate for both.
I loved her last album. You don't look at me and think this guy's listening to Demi Lovato, but I listened to a Demi Lovato and I enjoyed it. Like many things in life, I catch someone on Saturday Night Live, and those two songs on SNL, it's make or break for Lane Ingram. They introduced me to new music. Those two songs grab me, I'm hooked. That's how I got into Haim. I was an early adopter on the Haim train because they got on SNL right when their first album dropped. And they just, that first song of their two songs, I was just like, oh, who are these people? Love it. I'm sold.
Love it. Dude, Haim, okay. Were you ever a Amy Grant listener as a child? Because Haim was. And I can tell you that right now.
I never had any of her stuff, but she was certainly on the radio a lot when I was a kid. Yeah.
I mean, she used to be a huge presbo. like a Presbyterian, and my family's all Presbos. And so she was a big deal in our house.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm just
apparently when I
learning
was
this.
a kid,
Sorry,
I would
I'm
sing it
Mexican
all the time.
Catholic. I don't know what Presbo is. You're gonna have to.
I made up the word
Okay.
because I had a stand-up joke about it briefly, and I realized Presbo was extremely fun to say. Somebody said "Baby Baby." That's a popular Demi Lovato song that sounds like a Haim song. Anyway. Oh, can I share a fact about Tom Hanks? Because Tom Hanks is hosting this inaugural event.
Is it going to get him
some
canceled?
Republican-ass looking motherfuckers on now. So Tom Hanks, remember our persuasion episode when we were talking about things that grant people authority when they're being persuasive?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that episode. Yes.
Don't worry. We talked about persuasion. So in my persuasion class,
yes,
we studied the things that grant people basically persuasive power and authoritative power in advertising. And there's like basically these rankings where they evaluate who the overall American public considers to be the most credible when they speak. And Tom Hanks was top 3. I want to say he was number 1. The top 3 for sure. I mean, Grant, this was 2 years ago. This was 2 years ago. So please remember, this was before the 2020 fall of Ellen. It was Tom Hanks, Morgan Freeman, and Ellen were like the most valuable people to get in your ads. So I feel like, Tom Hanks isn't canceled. People are worried. No, Tom Hanks is the opposite of canceled. Every American trusts Tom Hanks. And I have to believe that the people who selected him to host this inauguration party knew that they knew that the government was almost overthrown. I mean, they weren't really, but they were, but they weren't. And they wanted to lend credibility to this inaugural ceremony by including, I have no doubt that's why Tom Hanks is the host. Anyway, just a little bit of insider info. Research indicates Tom Hanks is one of the most trustworthy people in America.
I could totally see that. He is America's uncle. Was America's dad, I think is what they like to call him now.
He feels daddy for sure.
Yeah. No, I think this is great. I think, he's sort of, he's he adds to the credibility of the idea of bringing the country back together. I hope people in the chat are sounding off, hoping that Tom Hanks never gets canceled. I know this is, maybe not anyone's favorite topic, but just in the category of people I really hope don't get canceled, I hope Keanu Reeves. I hope we can hang on to. I feel like Keanu Reeves, he's in that, what do you call it, the quadrants in Q ratings and approval ratings, and he hits a lot, he checks a lot of boxes. I'll put it this way. If there was a John Wick 4, I maybe would have an in to talk to my dad again. Just maybe. Like, if there was a John Wick 4, maybe, hey, me and my dad would have something to talk about. And I think if that's true for me, that has to be true for a lot of people out there, I'm guessing. Keanu Reeves bringing families together, fathers, sons.
I guess what I didn't mention when I was talking about QAnon and the Proud Boys, because I don't want to get too hopeful about it, because I do think there's this giant white supremacist cancer on America that I don't want to suggest is in any way meaningfully shrunk by Joe Biden. But there were definitely, this is just like providing hope, because we talked all last week about like the weird cult of Trump.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of people were basically on the QAnon message boards, the Proud Boys message boards, were like, we've been tricked. And of course we all knew that.
Yeah.
We all knew. But I am willing to have compassion if it means they don't get turned on to some other extremist viewpoint.
Katie, I think people are setting off fireworks. I think people are that excited. People are setting off fireworks. This is awesome.
This is great.
Okay. Yeah. It's a good feeling. People love John Legend here on Eastwood.
They're just so excited. I'm going back. There's such such a just random collection of people dancing around America. I swear to God, there was a woman ice skating on the street in DC for a second on this video. She must have been wearing roller skates, but I was convinced.
Can I tell you?
Do
I had an epiphany today that I just want to read off. Speaking of, I think it was maybe around the time I saw that headline of the Proud Boys disavowing Trump. Is I had this epiphany watching Trump fly away in Air Force One this morning. I watched his speech, by the way. Maybe I should mention that. I don't know if anyone actually watched.
Oh, you did?
His
Last
farewell
night?
speech. So I watched it this morning live. At like, I was surprised at how early it was. It was like at 8 a.m. Texas time. Trump walks out of the White House. There's a little press corps. He says some very canned statement like thank you and goodbye or something. And then him and Melania walk to the helicopter there on whatever it's the South Lawn, I think is what they call it, where the helicopter lands. And some servants or somebody loads in these like duffel bags and like their luggage, their literal luggage. They get into the helicopter, they fly to an air base, like a military base where I guess Air Force One is. And then he gives a speech to his supporters, like to some MAGA hat wearing, maybe like 60 of them on a tarmac right by Air Force One. He gives this speech. It is the worst speech. There's no teleprompter. So I was watching, hanging on every word, like, when is he going to go off the rails? When is he going to incite another insurrection? He never quite goes off the rails, but it is the most rickety, cringiest speech. It is like cringe comedy at its height. Like it was so hard to watch. Such a poorly delivered speech. And he acts just like he did all these great things and that the coronavirus is defeated. He wishes, he never says Biden or Harris, but he wishes the next administration well. And he says something about how he thinks they're going to do well and all this. And then he leaves and he leaves the stage and walks to Air Force One for the final time as president. And they fire off YMCA by the Village People at full volume.
The Village People is so mad. Does he not know they're gay? Like, truly, does he not know?
I don't think he does. I do not think he does. So he flies away, whatever. Okay. But I had this thought, and I just want to read this right now. Sorry to be so vain as to read one of my own Facebook posts, but I just had this epiphany. Can you imagine believing your sitting president was such an ineffectual weakling that they allowed their re-election to be quote unquote stolen away from them? And they were such a fragile coward that they flew to Florida on Inauguration Day. So let's just say for a moment that you believed everything Trump told you. How in the world would you ever respect him? There's no way. There's no way you could. If we are to believe any of his lies, then you are to believe that he's the most ineffectual, cowardly president in history. And that would be if you believed the guy. I mean, anyway, it's just what a disgrace on every level.
We have no idea yet what percentage of people this is going to affect, but I really do think a lot of people are having that reckoning today. It's like watching The Vow all over again.
Yeah. Sorry, I should.
You hear me eating popcorn? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. This is a day of celebration. We're seeing I
forgot to eat before I drank 3 glasses of wine. The Clinton
W and Obama were all at the I didn't catch what monument they were at, but they were somewhere, the three of them together on the the video. Q rating. Isn't there something that advertisers look at called like a celebrity's Q rating? Is
I'm looking it up.
It's something like different Who is this? Oh, is this Demi Lovato? Is everyone Demi Lovato?
Oh, familiarity score. The brand, celebrity, company, or entertainment products appeal. And Tom Hanks is the highest.
There you go. On.
Oh my God. Yeah, Tom Hanks is the highest. Adele is up there.
Interesting.
Oh, Johnny Depp. When is this from? I don't trust that man for shit.
Yeah. This is good. I can't tell who this is. Can someone help me out? Who is on the screen right now?
There's like a mix.
Oh, it is Demi. Woman. It is Demi. And yeah, she's doing a cover of Lovely Day. It's good.
And dude, it was crazy. I mean, I think a lot of people have. I have not admittedly cried that much, and I don't think I've cried at all. I got a little choked up when I did rewatch Kamala. Just she looks so happy, you know. She smiles. I like that about her. I mean, I know that she's societally pressured to do so, but
now, Katie, don't suck the fun out of everything.
But I think a lot of people have been very emotional about the fact that this is the first time any governmental organization has acknowledged the weight of the pandemic and has done it repeatedly over the like 3 to 4 times in a very heavy way over the past 24 hours. What we're watching now, Demi Lovato is singing over a mashup of essential workers.
Yes.
Being one of them.
Oh, and Biden's in the Oval Office dancing. Look at that. Was I a jerk when I said don't suck the fun out of everything?
No, not at all. That is, I feel that way a lot. There's no right way to live. People are mad when she smiles too. So
people get mad when she smiles.
Out of it both ways.
Wait, what?
You can't do anything right in America.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
the rules.
Gotcha. No, I do find her smile is infectious. Like I would have to think she has a good Q rating. I mean, maybe not among Republicans, but among regular people, quote unquote, normal people. She's a very charming person. Is it too soon to peer ahead 4 years? I keep thinking Biden's going to be very old in 4 years. I mean, he's already
very old. People keep talking about that. He's so fucking old.
I would love to see him step aside and Kamala run. I think that would be exciting.
I keep seeing people say Chuck Schumer needs to step aside and make Elizabeth Warren speaker or the Senate Majority Leader. I got to tell you, when I hear that, it makes me wet.
Awesome. Oh my God, that popcorn. Isn't that popcorn so good?
Can I show you something? I want to support essential workers, so I did something that I regret. So my local grocery store, you know how H-E-B was more prepared for the pandemic? Oh my God, Katy Perry singing Firework.
Is this Katy Perry?
Katy Perry singing Firework, which Tina specifically requested in the chat almost an hour ago.
I didn't even know Katy Perry was in this thing. You may not know what to look at me. Here. I like Katy Perry.
She's singing in front of the Lincoln Memorial. That's beautiful. Her dress? Oh, her dress is the all white, which is suffragette homage. It's an homage to Kamala.
Oh.
FYI.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. Wait, it's what? What does the dress signify?
So when you wear all white, it's at a political function, it's usually a nod to the suffragettes. And so I can't remember. I think on the Women's March Day, on major days, all the women in Congress usually wear white suits.
Awesome. No, I did not realize that. Hell
It's
yeah.
beautiful. A lot of fireworks.
That
happening.
is great.
I do want to just briefly say it since I got it out. HEB was prepared for the pandemic. Ralph's grocers were not. So we got curbside pickup in the past month. And they're so overwhelmed because everybody in LA has COVID right now that they can't. They literally had Smart Food popcorn, but they gave me Smart Food Flamin' Hot. This should not exist.
Is it?
This food should not exist. Smart Food's demographic is 30s and up. Yeah. Flamin' Hot's demographic is 25 and down. And yet this exists. And it is the worst thing I've ever had. I keep eating it, but Sanjay finally bought me regular just to make me stop.
Oh my God. Now what is so, because Flamin' Hot in small doses is pretty delicious.
Well, I think part of it is that Flamin' Hot is carried by a package of bad for you.
Yeah.
It's like fat and oil and all this stuff. But this is just like spicy dust on popcorn.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the cohesiveness. Someone said they love Smart Food Flamin' Hot.
Huh. Well, I can't speak to Flamin' Hot, but regular Smart Food prepackaged popcorn. Because I grew up in an era that if you wanted popcorn at home, you had to do the microwave or Jiffy Pop. But the idea of buying prepackaged popped popcorn, it was normally terrible. Smart Food popcorn is delicious. It's so good.
And it's relatively good for you compared to other prepackaged snacks.
Is it? That's good to know. No, we had up in back when we lived in Chicago, we would sometimes host little movie nights, and there was one dude who would always, or there was one dude, I shouldn't say he brought over that once, and I think it was the first time like all of us had it, and we liked it so much. It was like I think felt the pressure that now every time he came over, he had to bring. So every time he came over from that point on, he always brought one of those bags. And I will say,
wholesome,
kind of made me love that dude just a little bit more than I did already. So if you're showing up somewhere, maybe just keep a Smart Food bag of popcorn. Just saying,
it's like the person who brings LaCroix to a party. You never want to bring LaCroix to a party, but there's no way all the LaCroix doesn't get drunk. Bring a LaCroix to a party.
See what happens.
People will thank you.
People will thank you. It's like me and the Raising Cane's. I show up with Raising Cane's. It feels good. It feels good to be the person to bring Raising Cane's. Also, I just love Raising Cane's. I mean, if I'm going to go somewhere, I would like to eat Raising Cane's at that thing. I don't like to leave anything to chance. So fireworks.
It is great. Can I tell you a dirty little secret?
Oh, yeah.
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, which is the home of many things. Coca-Cola, Waffle House, and ChickFilA. So when I feel super American, sometimes I crave ChickFilA. And this morning we inaugurated Joe Biden, and I finished the ceremony, and then I thought, I want ChickFilA. And so I went and I got it. I got a ChickFilA biscuit. I got in before breakfast was over because I'm on the West Coast. And then I was telling my mom and my brother about it. I was like, I feel bad because like I'm also mostly I eat 95% vegetarian. And then I was like, you know what? I want chicken from the homophobe place. But what's great is when I lived in Austin, I was in an all queer sketch comedy troupe, and I was the most straight of all of us. And one day I was like, I haven't eaten ChickFilA, and at the point I hadn't eaten ChickFilA in like 4 years. So I was like, I haven't eaten ChickFilA in like 4 years. And they all go, why? I was like, well, they're homophobic. And they're like, we all eat ChickFilA. And then it was one of those things where I was like, I guess it's like, for me, I'm like, I don't get to decide whether this isn't okay with, like, I have to just be like, it's not okay with me because I'm an ally. Whereas if you're gay, you're like, I don't feel threatened. I'm going to eat ChickFilA.
Right. That's funny. No, So we don't live near a ChickFilA now, but for the last 6 years we did live near one. And yeah, we went there from time to time. People know their drive-through is impeccable. Have you seen the memes about, can we just put ChickFilA in charge of dispensing the vaccine?
Absolutely. Yeah, because they usually have like 2 lanes that narrow into one, and then it takes the same amount as if it had been one all along.
No, well, the one here in Austin, the one right by the UT campus, they've got the 2 lanes, but then they also have people with iPads. They've got employees with iPads that come, so they start your order like the moment you pull into the parking lot. So by the time you get to the window, it's just like bam, bamity, bam, and you've already paid. So they're just like throwing the food at you, and they're like, fuck you, I hope you're not gay. How? Please don't take that out of context and play that at my funeral. Like Lane Ingram, who was known to say offensive things such as, fuck you, I hope you're not gay.
There's a lot of great TikToks, RIP, can't log on to TikTok anymore, that are just gay people pretending they're ordering from ChickFilA. That's like, hello, extremely straight woman checking in. It's problematic. I don't endorse. Hey, I eat ChickFilA maybe once a year. Maybe once a year. I mean it. One time I went, the first time when I broke my 4-year ChickFilA fast, I went for a vegan friend's birthday because she wanted French fries, and they're the best French fries, which I think we can all agree on.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree.
No, their French fries are so good. Oh, I was going to say, I've heard from people with celiacs that a lot of fast food places don't have stuff that you can eat except for ChickFilA if you've got the old celiacs.
See, okay, we have been endorsing ChickFilA for too long. I think they still literally support foreign governments. Let's talk about Waffle House.
We now live so close to a Waffle House, and I sometimes I can't get good sleep, and
you live south.
Yeah, I can't.
I endorse it.
I sometimes will wake up against my will. I will wake up at like a crazy early time in the morning, like 4:30 or 5 a.m., and I can't fall back asleep. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to eat garbage. And I will go to McDonald's and get like their breakfast sandwich or whatever. But the other day I was like, I couldn't fall back asleep. It's like 5:30 and I'm like, I don't want to start my day, but what if I ordered Waffle House? Called up the old Waffle House. There's no way to order online. Kind of love that. You call up, super cash. It's just like, hello? Yeah, are you the Waffle House? Yeah. Can I just order? I don't know. And I couldn't find their menu online. Like you can't look at their menu, but I'm just like, can I place an order for like takeout? They're like, yeah, what do you want? It's like, could I get, and I just started like listing off like my dream breakfast, and they're like, yep. And I thought like I had listed off like way too many things, and they were just like, yep, that'll be 79 cents. It'll be ready in 30 seconds. And it was like, this is amazing. So I just like got in the car and went and picked it up, and it was like so much food for so cheap. And I was like, and like, I just like kind of wake Chloe awake, like, hey, Chloe, if you want to wake up early, I got Waffle House. And Chloe just like wakes up, and we just like zombies just go to town. In other words, Waffle House, thumbs up. We can't hear you. Katie, you muted yourself.
I muted myself because I peed while Lane was talking. Now I've revealed that it was a pretty long pee, and he didn't get boring. So I actually want to give Lane major props for keeping me entertained while I was peeing. A long pee appropriate for this Tom Hanks hosted ceremony. Classic. League of Their Own.
The Q rating on your pee was through the roof.
Our tech Preston just said Austin's downfall will be that there's only one Waffle House. Extremely. When you said I live near Waffle House, I knew exactly where you were.
Oh, is there only the one?
Riverside and 71?
Yes, we're right by there.
Yeah. That's the only one I know of. There's probably one way up north, too.
Probably, yeah.
There are two, Val says. Is the other one way up north? Give us directions. 290 East. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, that's good. My favorite 290 diner shut down due to COVID. I think I already complained about that on this podcast.
I want to know, Tina, what was so sad? There was.
We're talking about ChickFilA.
I'm trying to figure out what she's saying. Or maybe she was referring to Tony's comment about they have a ChickFilA in the Atlanta Falcons stadium that's not open when they play.
That's so stupid. Although I have been to that stadium a lot of times when the Atlanta Falcons weren't playing.
Why would it be there? That doesn't make...
I think because it's right next to the CNN Center, and so the CNN people go there for lunch.
Okay. And yes, Sundays ChickFilA isn't open, so NFL Sunday.
Yeah,
dude,
but
look
tell
at
me
all
if I'm
these
wrong.
fireworks. God, that's gorgeous. It feels like maybe there is hope. Can I just ask the chat, does anyone feel hopeful? Maybe we should feel very cautious right now, maybe cautiously optimistic. I just feel good. Like for this is like the best I've felt in terms of like, I don't know, the state of society or the country.
Yeah.
In a while.
I feel like a little unmoored, but it's because I feel like I have a lot of space I don't know how to fill.
Right. No, it is weird. It was like, oh, all we have to do today is just like watch Lady Gaga for 2 minutes. And you're like, oh, I've consumed all the news I need to do for today.
Dude, did you see the news story that was about the cybersecurity team deciding what to do with Joe Biden's Peloton?
What? No.
So Joe Biden and Jill Biden own a shared Peloton, and apparently that poses cybersecurity risk because Peloton does basically interact with you while you're using it, but they're both unwilling to part with their Peloton. So they had to work with the cybersecurity team at the White House to secure their Peloton. And that was on the front page of the New York Times today. That was like the 12th story on the New York Times website. I was like, we are already so boring. I can't believe we lived our entire lives like this up until 2016. We remember the controversy over Obama's khaki suit? Like, we literally paid attention to things like this. Like,
right.
We make fun of the way the Trumps dress, but it's only because it's like, I can't believe Melania showed up to visit children in cages in the border in this jacket. It's never like, let's make fun of this jacket.
Right.
No, I can't believe Trump has a wedgie while he's playing golf instead of being president. Yeah, it's about the golf.
I'm sorry.
He always had a wedgie.
I waited 4 years. We have waited 4 years. We clearly have the moral high ground at this point. Can we please make fun of the outfit Kellyanne Conway wore?
Oh my God, your post about that was very funny.
Thank you. It was just, I mean, it was the outfit of a psychotic person. It was the outfit of a deranged human. And
it was the outfit of a Revolutionary War teddy bear.
Yeah, like a psycho Civil War reenactor type person. And we all collectively said, you know what? She's a woman. Let's not make fun of her appearance. Let's just table that. And we made fun of her for meaningful things. We made fun of her for what she said and her policy.
Another reason to get on TikTok is to watch her fail from her own home. But go on.
Yes. Okay. So now can we please just, I would love it if we just gave ourselves a day, maybe not just 30 minutes to just be like, she fucking sucks.
But we've been doing that. She sucks. Everyone, if you have not, everyone at home, if you haven't watched the video of Kellyanne Conway's stand-up video. You gotta
talking about the pundettes.
Oh my God.
Did you watch her daughter? Someone sent this to me today. She has a 15-year-old daughter, and the daughter posted a compilation video this morning of audio of Kellyanne Conway berating her 15-year-old daughter over and over again. And it sounds like, Katie, sounds like a certain someone.
Donald Trump?
Not Chloe, but sounds like
someone.
Are
you talking about your mom, or are you talking about Donald Trump?
Well, you said
just
that.
Wink once for your mom and wink twice for Donald Trump. I won't repeat what you said. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no. So what's her name? Claudia Conway, I'm pretty sure is her name, because I always get her confused with that other Claudia on the internet. You guys know what I'm talking about? The chat will tell me who I mean. But she posts videos of her mom all the time, just like videos of her mom like on the phone with Trump. It's crazy what she gets away with. And they'll like take away her phone for a month, but then they realize they can't take away her phone forever. And the second she gets her phone back, she just starts recording their house again, because her dad's a Democrat. And so it's just psycho shit. And her mom will realize she's being like, there's just tons of videos of just like Kellyanne Conway sitting at her dinner table saying crazy shit and then just losing it. Anyway, it's great. The children get such a great view.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing right now at your comment in our own chat. Would you mind saying it?
Oh, someone said, Tina said, for today I have hope, tomorrow's another day. And I said, I can't wait for the left to tear each other apart again. Asterisk. I can wait for that.
Yeah. No,
I was thinking about it today, because do you remember last spring, before the pandemic, when we were fighting about like centrist versus Bernie versus Warren? Warren was like her own whole camp, even though it was like 10% of the voting population. And we were tearing each other apart. And then the pandemic happened, and we were like, okay, we kind of have to get together on this. And then the George Floyd protests happened. And I feel like it brought us even more together. And then Donald Trump started acting way out. And we were like, we are together for a minute. And so it's just like for a past year, I haven't seen censored members of our community post anything crazy online. And now I feel like, okay, so March 6th of last year was Super Tuesday, which I feel like was the last day
was it really?
Of people just destroying each other. Yeah,
that was
right?
Before the pandemic. Holy shit.
Before. I genuinely think if the pandemic had happened later or earlier, Bernie would have won. I don't know. I feel like at the beginning, everybody was like, oh, fuck, Medicare for all, Medicare for all, Medicare for all. But yeah, so March 6th, and I'm like, March 6th is probably around the time I'll start doing it again. We took a year off. We took a year off from hating each other. We all agreed.
Yeah.
No one really voted for Biden in the primary. It was a plurality. It was like 30% of people. We were all like, nobody likes him. We're all behind him. Kamala's like the best case scenario. We're okay. We're doing it. We're doing it.
Right.
And now we're like, we're done.
Right.
Can't wait for him to decide $15 minimum wage is too high for people who literally risk their lives every day to bag our groceries.
Right. Oh my God. And just, thanks, babe. Babe, do you have any thoughts on the? You sure? No, if you could see Chloe's just like, it's great.
I love her.
I love you. You're amazing. Anything you'd like to say about? The apron. She says the apron is fucking perfect. If I showed this at the very beginning of the pod, so if you were late coming to the chat, let me just once again show this amazing gift that Katie sent to Chloe and I. This is amazing. I'm just going to give a nice slow reveal here. It's just great. It's an apron. I'm wearing it. It is why I'm not wearing a lobster bib. I am wearing this apron.
Thank you for wearing it. It means a lot that you guys have enjoyed your gifts. I never know what to give people.
You're amazing. You're the best.
Yesterday was Devin Coleman's birthday.
Shit.
Who are friends know he's my improv partner. He was on the podcast over the summer. And I didn't know because I got off social media. I should have known because I vaguely remember that it's a winter birthday. But I'm going to send him a gift. I'm late. I like to send super personal stuff. If anybody has a good idea, I think I'm going to send him a collage of his favorite things on a phone case. He won't listen to this. I know it. So if you think that's a good idea, let me know.
Maybe this is just me, but January birthdays are always the absolute hardest for me because it always feels like post Christmas, New Year's, I'm just like, it just doesn't even register in my mind that someone could possibly have a birth. So when people have birthdays this time of year, it always sneaks up on me. Like,
it sneaks up on you.
Yeah. But no, that's it. I was thinking of Devon and just the city of Detroit, because just this past weekend, we finally started watching Detroiters.
Ooh, yes. Yes.
Just fantastic.
And that's like peak Devon humor too. And it's about advertising. I love an advertise because the truth is it's so adjacent to comedy that I'm surprised it's not used more often. Like communications jobs, if you don't want to be like another person making a comedy TV show, you can just be like, I work in advertising. It's the same. If you're curious, it's the same. I mean, it's not as exciting. But
yeah. No, it's a great backdrop for comedy things. Joey and Uncle Joey and Uncle Jesse on Full House were advertising.
Oh, right. They did jingles. Do you want to know the most comedy thing about advertising? Was I explaining this to you?
I don't think so.
So we have our own networking app called Fishbowl. There's an advertising networking app called Fishbowl that everybody's on.
Okay.
But on Fishbowl, you have to elect to use your name. Most of the time, you are just identified by your position or your position and your company. So you can say it's an anonymous, it's just like a secret Facebook group. It's like so toxic. It's the most toxic thing in the entire world. You always post. So I had told someone, I was like, oh yeah, we have our own thing. It's like LinkedIn, but like you don't have to say who you are and you can say whatever you want. And they said, that's not LinkedIn. I was like, you are right. You are very right. Like my boss is a super Trumper. And one time I searched his name. Don't. This is so late. Nobody will ever hear this, but he's also a great boss. I've talked before about how conflicted I am. I love him. Maybe.
Is he a daddy?
Cut this out.
Why did I say that? Anyway,
I don't know. I just feel like I should stop talking. I like my job a lot. And sometimes chaos is fun. I keep saying that out loud lately because I'm realizing I'm like, chaos is over and we have to make our own fun now. It's not okay. Yes. So chaos isn't obviously like Donald Trump was terrible, right? But like yesterday just for anyone listening to this in the future, please remember that on Tuesday, January 19th, Joe Exotic, the tiger dealer, had a SUV limo with a costumer and makeup artist parked outside of the jail all day because Donald Trump had indicated he was going to give him a full pardon.
Right. I forgot about that.
I don't think he did. I think Joe Exotic just spent a lot of money. But then he did pardon Lil Wayne for like normal crimes. He was just like in December, Lil Wayne was just like carrying a gun into some place where he like had full intention to shoot people, and that's okay. I mean, it's whatever. I mean, like whatever. Like black men are always overcharged in America. Call it whatever.
Everyone leave Lil Wayne
really
alone.
Care.
Lil Man. Just like Lil Man. I called Lil Wayne Lil Man.
Like, clearly Donald Trump revels in the chaos. He loves it. He's like, you know what? I don't know anything about Lil Wayne, but people like him and he's a pop star. And if he had wanted to be on Celebrity Apprentice, I would have wanted him to be.
Yeah. It is amazing that he left without any more fuck yous than he had already done. Like, he didn't grant a pardon to the Proud Boys or to the insurrectionists, and he didn't pardon himself or his children, which some people speculated he might have done all of those. I'm glad he
didn't, though, because that would have been a really bad precedent to set.
Totally. But I'm amazed he didn't try something like that. As bad as it was, I'm almost surprised it wasn't worse. It could have been worse, sadly. That's
I know
the age that
he pardoned people for like a ton of major crimes. It was like anyone who has ever supported him, who like embezzled money, lied to the US government, like all this shit. Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, all of these people who like did really bad stuff. He was like,
oh yeah.
There was like a Detroit mayor who had like defrauded the city. Like, none of the citizens of Detroit liked him. He was a huge problem. None of the previous presidents had wanted to get involved. All the people of Detroit were like, don't pardon him. But Diamond and Silk, do you remember Diamond and Silk, the Fox News commentators?
No.
If you don't know Diamond and Silk, please Google them. They are a duo of Fox News commentators from Detroit, and they both endorsed pardoning this man. Anyway, it's just crazy that he'll be like, everybody supports them, for instance, Diamond and Silk. And it's just like these two women who supported Trump and are only famous for that.
Oh, I've never heard of these people.
Oh my God, they're my favorite. They used to be wheeled out a lot.
Oh, crazy. How did I miss all that? Speaking of Fox News, can I just say I put on Fox News a little bit this morning just to see how are they spinning things, and it is like clockwork. It is like a well-oiled machine of just like, who's in charge? Oh, it's a Democrat. All right, wheel out the be afraid of immigrants graphics and stories, and it's just like, oh, Sleepy Joe came out of hiding to do his inauguration today, and what's he gonna do about the caravan of Guatemalans who are headed to the border now? Coming up after the commercial. Just like, so what the fuck are you talking? Guatemala? What? Who cares? Let him in.
I don't know. There's so much. There was like, Trump did all this stuff by executive order yesterday, which necessarily means you can immediately undo it by executive order. And so one thing, what was it that he did that was just so fucking stupid? Okay, one thing he did was finally call the Uyghur genocide a genocide, and it was so bizarre because it was like, that is a good thing, and I guess he wanted to be remembered for doing that, but now you could foist a war with China onto the Biden administration. That was really bizarre. But oh yeah, and then he undid this policy that said that people who have worked in the White House can't go on to become lobbyists for money, which is like a very reasonable law. If you have direct contact with the president, you shouldn't be allowed to be paid to represent a special interest group.
I love it.
And he undid that like yesterday at 11. And it's like, what? So they have 8 hours to lobby as much as they want? Like, what's the point of that? The executive orders last night were like really bizarre. It was just a bizarre collection of ill-thought things. And it's also like that Uyghur labor thing. It was like, I didn't even know you had people in your cabinet who knew about like, I literally didn't know that you knew as much as I learned from one episode of John Oliver. Like, I thought you knew less than that. A really great episode of John Oliver.
Yeah. Okay. No, John Oliver.
There was a Patriot Act too. They did it really close together.
Okay. No, I love it, John Oliver. No, that is, yeah, that's crazy. We're here in the home stretch. Is there anything?
It is almost 7:30. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I'm loopy. I have been drinking. This is celebratory.
We've been drinking. I've been drinking red wine out of a champagne glass because my champagne was from New Year's and it tasted like fucking ass.
Can I tell you, in a therapy session today, I was talking to a client who was having a really good day. They just got like a promotion and they're excited about the inauguration. And it was just, it coincided like right around the exact moment that Biden was getting sworn in. They had a meeting with their boss for a performance review, and they found out they got a promotion, like a big one. And I said, I'm so excited for you. This is great. Are you thinking about just taking the rest of the day off and popping some champagne? And they were like, Lane, remember how I'm a recovering alcoholic?
I knew that was what was coming. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's so funny.
And I was just like, shit, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I fucked up. Chalk that up to carelessness on my part. So I apologize. And we laughed about it. It was fine. We laughed and laughed. And it ended up leading to a really good conversation topic, but it was funny. Yeah. I felt like a total.
I'm sorry that happened. That sucks.
Yeah, it was funny. All sorts of crazy shit happens in therapy sessions. Why did I end on that note, Katie? I'm so sorry. Great talking with you. I'm so glad that January 20th, Inauguration Day, fell on this Wednesday, so we get to talk about it. And I got to celebrate with you.
Me too.
Any final thoughts? Where do we go from here?
Anything you didn't agree with me and Lane about today? We were both celebrating. We're out of our minds. We don't know who we are anymore. So just remember that we're saints and you love us.
Oh yeah, thank you, chat. I'm so glad.
Yes.
For the chat, that we have the chat, and that Tina and Drew's.
If you're still listening on podcast, I genuinely want to thank you, because this to us at this point is like a way to stay sane. We get to hang out with each other. We get to hang out with our friends. We get to hang out with our listeners every week. And sometimes we really feel like we have something to say. And sometimes we have nothing to say. Am I wrong, Lane?
No, I think this was one of those. It was like, I was thinking to myself, like, I think we'll just talk about how we feel today. And it worked out. I feel like today was just, it was a fun release and a relief. And hopefully the next 4 years are not terrible. If they're not terrible, it will be an improvement.
Hopefully they will be what we experienced before, and they create room for continued growth in the areas where we really need it. If there are continued protests for the things that we really need in this country, at least our government doesn't verbally condone police brutality is an improvement.
Yeah, exactly. No, oh look, CNN is interviewing right now the poet laureate that we were talking about.
Oh my God.
This is great.
She's
great. Good things. Good things are already happening.
So good. Okay.
Yeah. But no, Katie, love you. Thank you so much for this. It was an honor and pleasure getting to celebrate this with you and with the people in the chat. Maybe tomorrow or the day after things won't be so good, but right now it just seems like things there's a dawn of a new day, and that feels really good. So thank you, and all of that good stuff. Oh yeah, we should plug, what is it, the other shows on the ColdTowne TV Twitch channel, such as Victrola and Stool Pigeon, and this is You're in a Video Store. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us Wednesdays at 8:00 here. Katie, good night and good luck.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.